Kwa mkono ambao unalima ardhi, mlango wa kulima kuwa mshindi, kuwa na uhakika sasa, kulea mustakabali wa baadaye. Tufanye kazi pamoja na tukue pamoja, kuimarisha Kenya ni jukumu la Kenya.
Welcome to yet another informative Farm Kenya show, and today we are in Murang'a County to meet one Benson Mwangi who hails from Bombo village in Maragua, and he grows the plantain. What is plantain? These are not your normal banana fruits like you find in the market ripened, or what we love for our matoke or even tumbukiza. And as you can see here, I'm holding the Mkono Tembo variety, which grows to almost a foot long. So stay tuned.
Kwa majina yangu mimi naitwa Benson Mwangi, na hapa ni kwangu, tuko Maragua, ile inaitwa Mbombo. Hii farm ni yangu, nalimanga hash, avocado ya hash na plantains. Plantain ni mandizi ambayo sana sana inatumiwa kama breakfast sana. Ikiwa haijakamilika sana, kuiva sana, unaweza kuboil, unaweza kusteam ama roast. Hiyo sana inapendwa sana kwa sababu it's very sweet na kuilima haipedangi chemicals. Hapa tunatumianga mbolea ya ng'ombe. Hakuna kitu kama fertilizer. Hii haiwekwa kwa tumbukiza ama nini. Hii sana inatumia, unaweza kuitumia kama lunch ama breakfast. Unaitumia na chai. Vile tunakuranga gwashi, tunakula hii. Inatumika hivyo, sana inatumika hivyo. Ama lunch unaweza kuitumia tu uikula, na wengine wanaikulanga na mboga hata. Hiyo haiwezi changanya na chakula zingine kama matoke. Hapana. Hii specifically sana inatumiwa kama breakfast hivi. 2 years ago hapa tulitoa maji ya Morandi ya irrigation. So I decided to put my effort on farming plantain. Sababu one thing ukilima plantain, ukiwa na maji na mchanga iwe ni mzuri, inafanya vizuri. One thing, climate ni nzuri, haipendagi baridi, haipendagi joto mingi, hapa iko moderate. So mchanga ikiwa mzuri na uko na maji na uko na mbolea, inafanya vizuri. Ukilima kilimo biashara, una prefer ile mmea itakupea faida. For one, bereni nilikuwa nikilima madizi hii ni kulanga Meru. Yes, inafanya vizuri hata hiyo, lakini bei yake ukikompare na hizi hawezi kulinganisha. Cause for instance ya kukura Meru inaweza kuzaa hata 50 kg pa mramba hivi. Lakini bei yake ikipimwa pa kg unanunua kama 11 shillings. Compare, fanya hiyo mahesabu uone. Hiyo ndizi pengine iko na 40 ama 50 kg na ununua na 11 shillings pa kg. Italeta kama pesa ngapi?
About 50 by 10, about 500.
500. You are right. Sasa lakini hii kwangu sasa hii mandizi vile unaiona, pa ndizi moja inaenda na katanga kama in between the 5 kg na 15 kg. Lakini kwangu mimi nasemanga anything to do, nikikata ndizi moja ilete below 20 kg, it is below average. Na ikiwa for instance sasa kama hii naona ikikomaa itaniletea roughly 22-25 kg. Ukihesabu na kuna wakati inakuwa 90 shillings ama 100 per kg. For instance, tuseme madizi yako bunch moja imezaa 20 kg. Unanunua na 90 shillings. How much is this?
That's about 1,018.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Compare hiyo ingine 500 na ingine inakupea over 100 and 500, 1,500. Unaona sasa hapo kuna biashara. Kuna biashara. That's why I put my effort on plantain kuliko hizi zingine. In fact hata hizi zingine kungoa na ngoa. Sasa kwanza mimi niliangalia my climate yangu ni gani. Iko moderate. Kitu hiyo ingine, mandizi haipendagi cotton soil. Haipendagi cotton soil hata kidogo. Haipendagi mchanga. Haipendagi shamba iko na mawe. Haiwezi kufanya vizuri. Sababu alafu sana inapendanga shamba ikuwa flat. Inapendanga hivyo sana. Kuliko slope. Sasa ukiangalia kama hapa, mashimo yangu mimi nikichimba na chimbaga upana wa 4 by 2 feet. Na kama hauna mbolea, wacha kuchimba hiyo shimo. Sababu na upande uko chini hakukuwaga na minerals ya kutumiwa na mandizi. So inakumbini kama ujitayarishe kabisa uwe na mbolea mingi. Nakumbuka wakati ya kwanza nikipanda nilileta kama lori mbili FH2 ya mbolea. Sana mandizi napenda mbolea ya ng'ombe. Haipendagi sana ya kuku. Unajua sasa ya ng'ombe inakaa kwa muda mrefu. Lakini ya kuku na pia ya kuku inakuwa na a lot of nitrogen. Hiyo sasa hiyo nitrogen inapendaka kitu inatumika kitu kama sukuma hivi. Kitu tutakula nyeni. Sasa sana atupedi hizo. Pande ya mandizi sana inapendanga mbolea ya ng'ombe. Ndio kwa sababu inakuwa na a lot of humus na urea na whatever inapendanga hivyo. So nawekanga mbolea twice aya mara 2 kwa mwaka. Na pa plant nawekanga gunia kama gunia moja ya mbolea. After that naiachilia, next season nitarudia hivyo tu. Dunia sasa nilienda kwa mkulima mmoja mwenye nilipendeza ndio nikachagua mbegu. Hata sasa nikitaka kuongezea natoaka tu sakas hivi naongezea. Hata kuna mahali nimeacha bahari nitaongezea tu. Nilingoa hizi zingine. Plantain hiyo ni jina general. Tuna kama hii tunaita boo. Boo kwa lugha yetu ya Kikuyu. Sasa boo ni plantain lakini hiyo huanga ndio inakuanga na kilo mingi in terms of kgs. Ndio inazaanga ile mandizi kubwa sana. This variety. Ukihesabu bunches zake zinaweza kukuja hata 15. Unaweza kuona hiyo bunches zake zimekuja hata 15. Kwa sababu mimi ni sawa witness mtu amepima more than 40 kg. Na ukihesabu this moja ikiwa na 40 unununa na 100. That is 4,000 automatically. Yeah. So kuna ingine tunaita mkono table. Na pia mkono table we have 3 types. Inazaanga 3 bunches. Na ukiangalia vizuri maua yake huisha. Haina flower. Ikimaliza kuzaa hiyo kitu inajikata tu automatically. Na kuna still kwa hiyo zingine mkono table tu pia haiishi, hii flower haiishi. Wakati iko na mtoto inaendelea kupeleka chakula mingi kwa hii. Sababu inazidi kuona kama ni mtoto tu. So naikata ndio sasa hii bunches ya chini sasa nayo ikule sana inenepe. Unashika hivi unaikata. Very simple. Sasa hii kama mandizi inaendelea na kulea hii mandizi hii kabla usikate chakula mingi sana inakutoka kwa hii. Lakini ukikata hivi hii bunch ya chini unaona sasa the way mandizi na kuanga bunches ya juu inakuwa na wrong figures kuliko hii ya chini. Sababu chakula inaanzia upande juu. So nikikata hivi hii kitu after imemaliza kutoa mandizi, inafaa nikate hivi ndio sasa hata hii bunches ya chini ipata chakula ya kutosha na vile kubwa. Kuna vitu mbili inatusumbuanga. Kuna asate ni mdudu inakuranga huko chini kwa mizizi. Hiyo kiattack lazima sasa approach agronomist. Akusaidia akunje kwako sasa akwambie akuelezea ni dawa gani utafanya drenching naye na inasaidia. Unaona majani inaanza kukauka kidogo kidogo. Especially ile ya katikati. Especially ile ya katikati ile inatoa majani mapya. Unaanza sasa inaanza inakaa kama haikui. So ukiona hiyo ikikaa hivyo ujue sasa kuna kitu kuna mdudu ndani. After ukirize hivyo unakuja unatoa sakasi moja ndio witness. Una uproot sakasi moja. Sasa ukikata hivi panda kwa mizizi utaona mapo ya hiyo kamdudu. So after that unaweza kupiga picha utumia agronomist wako ama amwe kukuja. Sasa utakapo mnasaidiana. Ugonjwa nyingine ni wakati ya baridi. Mwezi wa samba haikuangi mzuri. Kuna baridi na kujanga inagonga yenye imezaa yote. Lakini yenye haija saa haiguzagwi. Hapana. Nilipouliza agronomist wangu akaniambia ni kwa sababu immunity yenye imebeba mtoto iko chini. Sababu ukiangalia wakati ya mwezi wa saba wakati hiyo kitu imekuja inagonga yenye yote yenye imezaa yote. Lakini watoto haiguzwi. Nilipomuuliza akaniambia sasa kwa sababu immunity yake iko chini. So what can we do? Akaniambia tunatumianga hii ukiona hiyo wakati imekaribia mwezi samba kama mwezi wa 5 hivi tunafanya drenching ya copper, either blue copper ama blue organic copper. Lakini aliniambia nifanye na blue copper. After that wakati nilijua hivyo mimi sikuwa na hiyo shida. Makasoma wangu wanatoka Nairobi. Na sana tunashikananga na customer mmoja mnafanya agreement hiyo kwa familia yote usiwe kuuzia mtu fulani mtu mwingine ni mimi nitakuwa nikikujia. Unajua sasa upande ya Uganda kuna kuanga na madizi mingi. Upande ya Kongo madizi hata inazaa kwa kichaka. Na kwa sababu sasa hapa dibandi na kuanga mingi kuna wakati nasikia huku kuna kuanga na madizi mingi sana Nairobi. Wenye wanatukujia wanakuja kununua huku wanasema kule kumefrad. Wanaendea na turera mpaka Kongo. Hiyo ndio kitu inatusumbuaga sana kwa sababu kuna wakati mzima wakati kama wa mwezi mmoja madizi yetu hukwama. Unakuja huku unapata imekomaa imemaliza sasa hata ni kuanguke na hakuna mahali mnapeleka hata mwenye ananunuanga mnamunderstand sababu imefrad kule. Sasa kule wakati kwa sababu hawa watu wa Kongo hiyo country yao haikuagi na maendeleo sana kukinyesha sasa magari haijiagi. So hapo tunaingilia sasa wakarudi kwetu sasa sasa bei ikapanda tena na tunaanza kuuza. So kwa mwaka kuna kipindi ya miezi kama 2 inakuwa manga. Not unless ujisikia customer mwenye akona hauzangi na mambo ya export. Sababu wengi wao wana export. Wana kujia huku. Lakini ukikuwa na customer mwenye high export, unajua sasa soko yake inakuwa kaita constantly. Sasa kama hii sasa mimi niko na mteja kama huyo, yeye anajiuzia direct, hakuna mwenye analia ati ni export ama wapi. Unakuta wakati mwingine hawa vijana wapeleka mambo ya mashamba, maji imekuja, ni wazee wako hawataki kufanya hiyo kitu. Unaona wako Nairobi, wako kwa ile zingine mambo ingine. Sasa mzee kama mama yangu na ako hai, atalima nini? Itaka. Kwa hivyo hatuna ushirika saa hii. Wewe ni ujitegemee, utafute customer wako. Mimi hoya. In 5 years time to come, nataka hii shamba yangu niwe nimejeza hii mandizi. Unajua sasa hawezi jaza shamba yote kwanza mimi hoya. Kabla hujue bei soko iko anje. So soko ikienda mzuri nitajaza shamba yangu yote. Mkulima ukiamua kulima wrong figures peke yake, kuna mahali utakwama kimfuko. Sababu in term of uzito, haikuwa na uzito mkali mwingi kuliko hizi zingine. Hii inaweza kata, naweza harvest ndizi ya 30 kg. Hii kienda sana ni 25. Now sometimes, most of the time inakuanga less than 20 ama 20 hapo. Yenye tangu nianza kulima yenye nimekata kubwa ilikuwa na 28 kg. Hii wrong figures. So inakuanga na challenge yake. Ukiona sasa ukipanda hii ikiwa peke yake na ukate mandizi hata kama ni 10 per harvest, na range yake ni 15 kg. Unaona hiyo sasa ni 150 kg. Na nikipanda hii ni harvest ya 30 kg na iwe ni mandizi 10, sitakuwa na 300 kg. Na bei ni ile tu. So lazima uichanganye. Vile unaonanga kwa soko nyanya ile mzuri inachanganywa na nyanya kidogo na nyanya kubwa inachanganywa ndio sasa yenge kwa soko moja.
Now, how long does it take to mature?
9 months. Unaona sasa unaona easy. Sijui 1 2 3 4 easy. Na ile nilipanda mwezi wa 4. Ukiangalia mwezi wa 4 unaona moja imetoa mtoto. Hii imetoa mtoto. So inategemeana na vyenye size ya saka na kitu kingine. Sasa ukiangalia kama ile iko na neighbor yake hapo inaikulia iko na mizizi kali inaingiza kwa, unaona kitu kingine. Sasa nimekuja kugundua hii mandizi ukichanganya na mandizi nyingine itaharibika. Haikuwa na nguvu sana ya kujitafutia chakula. Nikiachilia hii na hii hapa, hii itaisha. Lazima ningoe hii sasa ndio ziachwe Plantain peke yake.
We are also going to meet an expert agronomist who is going to give us the best management practices of growing this crop.
I'm Simon Wanjohi, an agronomist who works with farmers day by day. Today, we are in Murang'a representing Savannah Agro Solutions. This is where we assist farmers on a journey to farm. It's a journey. The same way we start from point A to point B. Farming starts from point A to point Z. Many comes, many goes, but as well, you must have the knowledge on where to start. This is in Murang'a, Maragua County, a place called Bombo. We made a decision of planting plantain bananas because tunafanya ile kilimo biashara. Today, we're gonna learn several things. One of them being the spacing, management, feeding, harvesting, and marketing of the plantains. Bananas are so many varieties. We have the ripe bananas that we go, after cutting them, we allow them ripen, then we eat. Tuko na ile matoke, and then we got this variety called plantain. Most of the people have now nicknamed it inakuliwa na wadosi, but not only being a mdosi, you can also have your plantains as for breakfast. Reason being, plantain is very special because wakati inapoiva, you can either roast it, so you are told, unaweza eka kwa mafuta ile deep fry, ama unaweza chemsha utumie kama mkate asubuhi. For those people who have got challenges kukula mkate asubuhi, plantain is a good option because also it's good in fiber, itasaidia mwili yako. Plantain being special, it's one thing because sold in kgs and it's somehow expensive. The difference between a plantain banana and a matoke banana, for the matoke banana, it matures in 120 to 150 days. But for plantain banana, it matures in between 90 and 120 days. This is from flowering. For planting, plantains are not highly deep-rooted, but for matoke are highly deep-rooted. As in, ukipanda plantain, mizizi yake haitembei mbali sana. Lakini matoke, mizizi yake inatembea mbali sana. When it comes to plantains, the key thing here is one. Ensure you got clean suckers free from pests and diseases. It's very prone to diseases if you happen to plant a sucker which is not that certified, or from the source you took, it got a disease that called sigatoka. Sigatoka is one of the most dangerous diseases in bananas, whereby it dies from the top. A second disease is the Phytophthora stem rot, and where leaves withers from the bottom. Another still bad disease in plantains, it's where you find it's unable to produce the suckers, the root diseases. These are as a form of where you are coming to plant, the soil health, and what you are going to plant. One mistake farmers do, they transplant suckers with fertilizers, but it should not be like that. For bananas, highly recommendation, use manure, well compost, either goat or cow manure. For chicken or rabbit manure, highly nitrogenous, and it may destroy the rooting system.
We will be right back with more insights from Simon, the pioneer agronomist. Don't go away.
Tufanye kazi pamoja na tukue pamoja. Kuimarisha Kenya ni jukumu la Farm Kenya.
Welcome back. Ready to take your plantain banana farming to the next level? Let's hear how you can make every bunch count.
Now, when we come to planting, spacing is a key thing, and we all ask farmers to observe this. Any banana should not go less than 10 feet. From plantains, we do 10 feet squared. That is 10 feet by 10 feet. That is the spacing. Because they are not that tall or that short. They always got a medium size. As you look from one stem to the other, this is 10 feet. Once you do 6 feet, this banana will lean on the other one after flowering, and this will cause a damage. Zitaanguka zote chini, and we are all targeting the banana at last. Still, on planting, the holes should be 4 feet by 2 feet. 4 feet wide, 2 feet deep for those places with more maram, but for places with no maram, can do 3 feet by 3 feet. That is 3, 3, and 3. But places whereby maram is a bit high, you can do 4 feet, 3 feet, and then 2 feet. A length of 4 feet, width of 3 feet, depth of 2 feet. It requires at least half to full bag 70 kg manure. That one will be around 35 kilos. This can take the banana for about 6 to 8 months without another feeding. Bananas are done in places which are medium wet to medium dry under irrigation. Highlands got a challenge with bananas because too much wet moisture does not give a banana a conducive environment. That's why in teeth zones, the bananas population is very low. And in dry areas, bananas population is very low. So having such a climate, this one is a medium wet because we got coffee at some areas. And for medium dry, places with no coffee, they are done under irrigation. But bananas which are rain-fed, then irrigated, are very sweet, rather than those are irrigated from planting till harvesting. One of the reasons is because of the nitrogen flush, whereby when it rains, the suckers tend to be so healthy from the ground. But during irrigation, the suckers produced tunaziitanga weak suckers, and those are not good for transplanting. Now, one thing I would wish farmers to know, during transplanting a sucker, don't get a sucker 3 feet plus. On the agronomy practical side, a banana sucker should be 1 feet, maximum 2 feet. That is for tissue culture. For suckers can go up to 3 feet, but not highly recommended. That's only done if you don't have an option. 1 feet sucker, within 2 months, it produces another small sucker, because well planted with that manure, it's able to get all nutrients very fast. Ni kama venye tunasemanga mti ikizeeka inahitaji kukatwa ama ile shaving it again to produce new shoots. That is mostly in an avocado. So for a banana, the younger the sucker, the stronger it is, and the more resistant to diseases. After transplanting your sucker, 3 months after, you should check whether it's getting the shoots or not. If the shoots are done already, we don't encourage more than 3 shoots per stem. Now, when fetching a sucker, ensure you got 2 tools, a desuckering tool or a panga and a jembe. A jembe is used to dig around the stool. This is the stool, this is our jembe, and this is our panga. You can either use a panga or a desuckering tool. But because ours is not that hard, we shall use a panga. So for the jembe, you just dig around the stool. And when you see that you are now ready to desucker your sucker, this is what you do. Put the desuckering tool in between the sucker and the main stem severally without damaging your sucker. Then pull slowly and you get your sucker. This is 1.2 to 1.4 feet, the best suckers to have. Once you check our sucker, this is where it was attached to the mother, and these are the roots. Within 2 to 3 months, this sucker will have produced another suckers. After removal, ensure that the roots in between here got at least 15 to 20. If I count mine, these are around 16. So it is a good sucker, well developed. Now, let's head to the farm. Having our sucker ready, we now transplant. This has been done 3 months ago. The reason as to why we use a 1 feet sucker shows here clearly. This is the sucker that was planted. After 3 months, it got already another young sucker. It came just directly from where the roots were because it was able to feed very well. After another 3 months, this main stem now will produce another sucker. So the cycle continues. The reasons as to why we allow 3 seedlings, that is 3 suckers per hole. Once you harvest in January, you will have another one to harvest in April, another one in July, August, another one in November. So the cycle continues, and this is what entails a farmer. You are in business from January to December. So, well, bananas got no season. And this is because you gave the right sucker to the right soil. One mistake done by farmers, while planting the sucker, don't plant it till the tip. Where the soil level was from the mother, it's still the level where you get it during planting. So, usiende kuweka mandizi mchanga mpaka huku. When you dip it inside, the soil level should be still the same. And this one will ensure a faster growth and a genetic productivity, whereby the same genes of the banana will follow towards the suckers. Banana management practices are the easiest in this world. You just need a sharp panga and a clean one. After planting, the suckers might come out 2 or 3 at the same time. You just eliminate one. That's one of the management practices. Second, when it sheds the leaves, we don't encourage bananas to have more than 12 leaves at a go. So you will come and count how many leaves are here. Like this one have 4 plus 4, that is 8, and then we have the 9th one. So this one is not yet ready to be removed, the leaves. For the matured ones, as you count, it got at least 12, 13, maximum of 14. When flowering, don't cut off your leaves once you see it sheds the flower. This is because the leaves are used in photosynthesis, since they are the ones which contains the chlorophyll, which is used by now the flower to form the fruit itself. Now, my question is, for these people who goes to the farm, sheds all leaves when the banana is not yet ready for cutting or taking to the market, do you know you are destroying your banana? Because there will be no more chlorophyll and your bananas will just not be healthy. They'll be unhealthy. Now, this is the banana heart. This is removed immediately after shedding all the bananas in that stem. We have the upper, the middle, and the lower layers in the banana. This one will form at the lowest end of that banana. So the banana heart is removed to ensure that the lower banana branches get sufficient nutrients so that they come to become full bananas. One of the reasons people say, sitaki kamandizi kadogo, the ones at the end, it's because the banana heart was not removed at the right time. But now you understand. Ensure the branches are well formed. At the end, now remove the banana heart. The reason as to why the lower branches are very weak and many people don't like them as they are sold, hata unapata they are very cheap, it's because the banana heart was not removed. It takes all nutrients for the lower branches. So you find that nutrition is an issue to the lower branches. Yeah. When we come to the varieties, for plantains, we got about 3 of them. We got the one that fingers face downwards, others seems to be straight, and others feel back to the stem. Most of them that faces downwards are the best for me because they are always having more kilos, one single banana. But those facing upwards, as a whole, that's when they'll fetch more kilos. But when it comes to eating, as a whole branch, when it comes to eating, all of them seems to be the best. The only challenge is one. If you happen to get them konotembo alone, less kgs will be weighed at your farm for many banana stems, all banana stools. But if you mix with the bow and the konotembo, your kgs will be average. For farmers who might be interested to farm the plantains, we are ready to serve you. At Savannah Agro Solutions, the contacts are 0719 220 995, or you can get to TikTok page, Savannah Agro Solutions. Then, those wishes to have the bananas, the suckers, can still use the same number for inquiries.
soil is very important because it's the foundation of every crop production. When we talk about soil, we usually say never judge a book by its cover. And for us soil scientists, we usually say never judge soil by whatever is on whatever you see. Because you can never know the nutrients or the diseases which are in that kind of soil without testing it. So you have to test it for you to be able to know what is underground. So what bananas requires is different from what avocado requires, and it's also very different with what vegetables requires. So when we are giving recommendation, the input recommendations, either organic or the synthetic, we give crop specific. Why? Because what plantain requires, for example, for bananas, they're heavy feeders. But when you mention crops like the vegetables, they are not heavy feeders as the bananas. So we give crop-specific recommendations. Yes. So when we visit the farm, we have to make a proper survey so that we ensure we do collection, we do soil sampling in the right way. Because we usually say the garbage in, garbage out. How you correct your samples determines the results that you get. If you provide low quality or you do improper sampling, then the farmer will get poor results. So we have to be very keen when collecting the soil sample. So the first survey that we do is, first of all, we have to consider the topography of the soil, of the farm. Is it too steepy? Is it flat? Because, for example, the flat area can't be the same with the steepy area, because the steepy area can have some issues like the soil erosion. So you have to consider such as a factor for you to know the number of samples that you'll collect in that farm. Another thing that you consider is the type of soil that is there. Because you can visit a farm, maybe a farm has maybe black cotton soil and maybe the red soil like the one that we have here. So you have to consider about the type of soil that is there so that you know how to collect the soil sample. Another thing, you also have to consider the history of the farm. That's where now we engage a conversation with the farmer to know the history of the farm. Because we might have maybe an area, you are collecting the soil sample in, for example, in a dry month, and maybe a certain area of the farm usually has water stagnation, which can't be the same with an area which doesn't have water stagnation. Those two areas will be completely different when the analysis is done. Another thing can be maybe a certain area is more productive than the other. Another thing can be maybe the farmer apply more input in such an area, in a certain area, which doesn't apply in a different area. So the history of the farm is very important. So we usually consider all that. We also ask when they applied the inputs, what they have been doing to understand the farm first. Then when we have all the information, then we divide the farm in different sections. Maybe in a certain field, we collect 10 to 15 spots where we collect soil samples. We usually scrap the top organic matter. For example, you can do the scrapping with the gumboots like that, so that you ensure that the top organic, you don't collect, you scrap the top organic matter, so that you ensure the top organic matter, they can usually interfere with the soil report because they has good organic matter. And then we usually use this tool. It's called the soil auger. We have different types of soil auger. One, it has to be very clean so that you ensure that it's not contaminated. Maybe you left this farm, you go to another farm, use the same tool without cleaning it, because it can be a tool of transferring even the soil-borne pathogens. So it has to be very clean. Right now, mine is not clean, but when I came in, it was clean. I used it here. So it has to be a consideration. So my soil auger is 120 centimeters. So we usually collect, for nutrition purposes, we usually collect 25 to 30 centimeters. That is 1 feet. Then collect in different spots. For example, in this spot, so I'll just use it to correct the sample. Then I must have also a clean bucket. Why do I need a clean bucket? Because I need to go around in different spots, collecting soils in those spots to represent the whole field, and then put it in the same bucket if that field has the same characteristics. And then after I'm done, that's when now I'll mix the soil well, and then use this soil sample bag, which I'll carry like half kg, which I'll now take it to the lab, either for nutrition purposes, soil pathology purposes, analysis, nematode analysis, and maybe for those who want to do tree crops or even the bananas, we can also check on the soil texture, which we now collect the subsoil. For subsoil, it's from 30 centimeters to 100 centimeters. That's why the soil auger is a bit long. We also dig the soil pits to understand the soil profile very well. So I remove the soil auger, put that soil in the bucket, go to another spot, scrape the top organic matter, drill the soil, and you have to be very full, you must be full so that you ensure, because it requires a lot of energy to do this, because this soil might be a bit soft, but you can go in another area where the soil is a bit hard. Yes. So once you drill, you put that soil in the same bucket, clean bucket. And one thing you should know, healthy soil usually has sweet aroma, but unhealthy soil or dead soil usually have a bad odor. So, and also we also have other plant indicators in your farm. I can come in your farm, maybe I see some crop indicators which can give me an idea of how your soil is. But I can't conclude until I take it to the lab. So, yeah, this smells good. It has sweet aroma, so it's not that badly off. But when we take it to the lab, that's when we'll now know. So when you go around the farm, you mix this soil very well. You mix this soil well. You break the clods if they are there, and remove all the impurities, the sticks, the stones, and then when you're done, you put it in a bag. And to ensure that whatever you take to the lab is specifically for that farmer, we also fill the customer's detail or the farmer details here. The farm name, the farmer's name. You can also, if they have the farm manager, you can use that. The email address, the contacts, the crop that they want to farm. If you have separated different blocks, then you have to indicate maybe this is block K or plantain block. You have to indicate that, so that when you take it to the lab, you are very sure it's for that specific block and for that specific farmer. And then we put the details in the system, whereas the people in the lab or the scientists in the lab, they can also use the recorded data, which should be the same with what you have recorded here. So there is no way that sample will ever be mixed up with any other farmer's sample. So at the end of the day, the farmer will get the reports which are specifically for their farms. We have nutrition analysis package, we have pathology analysis, nematodes analysis, soil texture analysis. They usually take different days depending on which type of package. For nutrition analysis, it just takes 7 working days. For pathology analysis or the disease analysis, it usually takes 10 working days. For irrigation water analysis, it usually takes 5 working days. For nematodes analysis, 5 working days. For soil texture analysis, 5 working days. Although we have all maybe other types of analysis, but for smallholder farmers, those are the main which I can usually recommend them to undertake. For those farmers who want to know the quality of their soils, the soil health, they can reach me via my mobile number, 0701 824 162. And I can serve any farmer from any part of the country.
Kuwa mkono ambao unalima ardhi, mlango wa kulima, kuwa mshindi.